Hello, friends. So today we are in Planet Zoo, and I've been working on a sandbox zoo. And so far, I have just been working on this main plaza, and I started off just with this fountain. And once I made the fountain, that kind of inspired me to make like this very like flowery botanical type of sort of a classic park. And so over here, we kind of have like our main information restroom, ATM, vending machine, like sort of guest reception area. So the guests can come in here, they can get their brochures or their maps or whatever that they need to get. There's a little screen here for some education that they can look at very briefly. And then there's the ATM. Here is a very small staff room for our information vendors. And then we have the bathroom. You'll have to excuse me as I'm trying to figure out the best way to use the camera. There are different cameras, and I have not figured out how to use them yet, so I apologize that there will be the UI screen on this video. But over here, we have the little gift area. So we have a Just a Memento in there and the balloon shop. And then I just put a bunch of flowers and trees in there. And then I made this sort of like a rail. I really wanted there to be like a gate in this plaza in the center and guests could walk through it, but I was having issues because the gate that I really wanted was like an iron gate, and it was actually very small as far as like the path you could put inside of it. So I decided to just build like a very small like wall, like a decorative wall, so people could still be able to come in the zoo and see that there's stuff here for them, to get them excited about going into the zoo. So this is our very first exhibit building, and this has two snakes in it, and I think it's a boa constrictor. Might be a boa constrictor and I don't know what this is. Western diamondback. Oh, puff adder. What's this one? Okay, this one is the Western diamondback, and it's just two exhibits in here. And yeah, I'm using the classic theme as my inspiration for the buildings. And these are pretty basic buildings, pretty square, and then just kind of making everything, decorating everything. So I still need to go in here and like decorate these green patches, which is probably what I'm going to work on in this very first episode. And then I would like to start on our very first habitat. So with the habitat, I was thinking about possibly making like a cafe, and then near the cafe there would be like a maybe a very small monkey sort of habitat. So I was thinking that might be a good start for the like a very first habitat in the park, but we'll see. I haven't gotten any animals yet. But quickly, I wanted to show you this is my staff area for now. And there's still some things like I really would like to fill in this green area here where this brick just kind of stops. But we do have everything we need in these two buildings. I believe this one has, yes, workshop, staff room, animal trade center. There's a transformer and quarantine. And then this one has a large keeper hut, vet surgery, and a large research center. And this one was very easy to make. It's very symmetrical with the buildings, but this one I had a harder time making it look symmetrical. I'm very much about symmetry in a lot of my a lot of my builds. But I really like how this turned out. It did take me a little bit to figure out how was I going to balance out this really large building next to this very like simple symmetrical one. But I think it works out. And I think what I may end up doing right here is just kind of building a separate building that is really more decorative just to balance out this area. And it won't have anything in it. It'll just kind of be like a decorative building to make it seem like there's more buildings here that are needed for the staff. So if you are familiar with my channel, you may know, you may not know, that I played Planet Coaster for a very long time. So I'm really familiar with Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, but this being on console really has made me feel better. I did play this on PC, on my PC, but we have it through GeForce Now, which you need an internet connection to use and play. So I didn't quite feel comfortable playing Planet Zoo on PC because of this, because sometimes the connection with GeForce Now wasn't exactly working how it just wasn't very smooth. And so I love having this on console. The graphics look amazing. They really do. I haven't even done anything in the park. And I mean, this is the temperate map that I'm in, and it looks stunning. So, yeah. So I think right now, I know I probably should start off with something more exciting than landscaping, but I really want to kind of finish out these plaza areas before moving on to the actual first habitat. And my guests are probably like, oh, there's nothing to look at in this zoo. But I've got a lot of people in here, which is interesting. So, but I think the first thing really I need to do is work on these green little patches around this exhibit building, and then we'll move on. So I think this video is most likely going to be part speed build, part talking, and that's usually how a lot of my videos go. And yeah, and we'll just kind of go from there. I would ideally like to have at least start on the habitat at some point in this video, but we'll see. So I will pop back on in a few minutes after I'm done working on this stuff. Okay, so now we have our exhibit. Let me get my see if I can get my camera to do what I wanted to do. Um, okay, this will at least look a little bit better. So now we have our exhibit looking a little bit more grown up, a little, got a little bit of landscaping going on. And, I kept it pretty simple. And I think, for me, when it comes to landscaping and just how I want things to look, how should things be balanced out, I just think about, let me see if I can work my camera again. I just think about how do I want each part of this building to like be captured. So oh yeah, this will work. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of say I want this to be, let's just do that. Okay, yeah. So for example, from this perspective, from this side of the exhibit building, this isn't the main, entry point, but you still want it to look like an entry point. So that's kind of how I view landscaping, and like how should I balance out trees with bushes and flowers and stuff. A lot of time, they like in art, they talk about the rule of three. It is pretty much the rule of three. This has 3 trees here. This technically has 3 trees with the cypress. So it's like, symmetry. And it's really just about aesthetic, at least for me. But there's nothing that's like, there's no, I guess there's no formula, if you will. Like, there's no formula that I'm thinking about. It really starts off with symmetry. Like, when I was building this exhibit, the first thing that I did after the building was built was I put these little azalea bushes around it. And once I did that, that inspired me to put the cypresses on all 4 corners. Then I thought, oh, that looks really adorable. So how about these hydrangeas? And the hydrangeas really make it stand out, I think. And for these bushes are not temperate bushes. They are, what is this? Taiga, like whatever that biome is. But they work really well. So that's just kind of like my thought process when I'm doing sort of landscape designs. And then like over here for these buildings, I originally started off with making these flower beds, and then I put the cypresses in to match my exhibit building. And originally I had cypresses on both sides of the building. It was very symmetrical. But on this side, once I put in that cherry blossom tree, I was like, that looks really, really nice. So you can kind of see like this cherry blossom tree kind of takes the focal point. That's your focal point on that side. Over here, no, we don't have a fancy, beautiful tree, but this still looks pretty balanced out, I think, with the large cypress and these 2 mini ones. And then we kind of have some little green bushes in between. So that may not really make sense. That may not really make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. So yeah. Okay. So we've got that part done. And that looks, I'm really, really happy with how this is turning out. I will most likely fill all of this green space up, and then probably this walking path. I don't like that it's like crooked right here, and it's because this pathing into this building is so odd. But I will probably cover up this stuff here with my staff with bushes and very large trees. So that'll be covered up. But I'm not quite sure about this path. I like it here, But I don't think anybody's really using it at this point, but I'm sure they will once I expand the zoo. So, but first, I'm thinking about putting in a habitat somewhere in this area, and there's also going to be a cafe. Wait, let me turn off this smooth motion here. There we go. No smooth, no smooth. Okay, so but over here, I was thinking about we put in our very first exhibit, and I would love it if it had some sort of pond, something, just some sort of water. And then I don't know if that is going to be birds. I'm trying to think like what would need water, but it would still be really, really pretty. So anyway, I'm thinking something like that over here. And then possibly we have our cafe further out, like maybe the cafe is somewhere around here and some sort of little monkey exhibit. So that will yeah, I'll start working on that. But yeah, I really hope that you are enjoying this so far. I know I'm a little scatterbrained, I'm a little all over the place. A lot of the times, my videos, I pre-record everything and then I go back and do my voiceover. But for this, I kind of felt like I kind of wanted to talk through what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And to be honest, when I first started building this plaza took a very long time because I didn't really have the vision. I didn't know how I was going to theme my zoo. And once I built this building, I was like, okay, this looks cool. So anyway, so it really took me a while to figure out like what sort of theme I was going to, and I really didn't want to do modern. So if you are, you may not know, but my husband and I had started a Planet Coaster YouTube channel a while back, and a lot of my builds in that were very modern and like square buildings, a lot of glass. So for this, I wanted to get out of the modern theme, which was why I think I was drawn to the classical theme in Planet Zoo. So so yeah, that's just my thought process on this. But it took me a really long time to get this plaza down correctly and getting the pathing to be symmetrical. I would have loved it if this fountain lined up with this, but that's it. I mean, I'm just not going to move it. It's fine. But it does line up here, which I'm okay with. So, anyway. But yeah, so that is our exhibit. And yeah, so I'm going to move on to habitat building possibly, and that might take a while, but we'll just see how that goes. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so the next thing that I think I want to do is I do want to have some sort of foliage right here to outline the habitat, and then also putting in like a small fence. So there are some fences that come with the game. Is this where they are? I think they're under props. So yeah, so we do have some fencing, and it's okay. Like this is an Indian fence, which doesn't really match what I would like to be doing. I could. I feel like this might be too tall. So maybe is this shorter? No. This is like a one unit. Okay. Oh, here's like a one. This is like a one unit mesh. Okay. So I guess so let's say I'm just gonna like plop this somewhere. My barrier is right here technically, but I don't think I'm actually going to, it's not going to be that close to the path that we have. So I'm going to put this here, I think, and then just going to kind of make a couple of connections. And then with that, I'm going to see if there's something that I can use to give this some more structure. So that could be like maybe a column, but I feel like that's going to be way too big. Maybe I'll go to everything and then see what does that get us. Let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay, this could possibly be okay if I put that underneath. Let's see. Oops. I'm moving too fast for this. It's having to think about what I'm telling it to do. Okay, this is like oh, this is cute, this little bridge. I guess I shouldn't have clicked on everything. But I'm not sure like what category I should be looking at. What does this look like? Oh. It's not quite the style we're going for. Maybe I'll click on classic theme. Wow. Not a lot of options. Okay. About this is oh, material. Let's click on that. Yeah. I think I may end up just using this. And I'll just paint it. So let's see, what does this say? Okay, so let's see. Color is pretty easy because everything I'm doing is pretty much white or gray. Let me go to a shorter piece. Go to this one. Okay, it's pretty thick. Which, that's okay, I think. I'm just gonna... I don't think I want it to be that high. Maybe like this. Okay, this could work. This thing, whatever this is, it just won't be colored. So, okay. So if I can, let's do every. We'll just do every 4. I'm gonna move this like this, and then I'm going to add this in, and I guess I could move this down a tad. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on the other end. Okay, so we might have to straighten this out a little bit because this is crooked and it's not lining up exactly straight on this wooden panel. So I'm going to merge this into a group, and I'm just going to move it as close to the middle of this white beam as possible. And it looks okay. So I can't really tell how straight it is on here. But I think it looks okay. So that would be one section. So then we can now merge scenery into group. So then this would be one actual unit. So just going to, actually I'm going to move this a little bit. So I'm just keeping this here, but I'm just going to move it down all the way to the end of where our path is. So this would be where our barrier is possibly going to end, but I'm going to connect it all the way up to our path. Okay, so I had to make a couple of adjustments to this maintenance slash like um, little habitat for my birds, my peafowls that I'm going to put in here. And the issue, I didn't really understand what the issue was, but essentially I needed to add in a power source. And in the original building that I had, which was like up until this point, it would not let me place down my power source. It just, nothing I did was working. I tried to, I thought maybe the barrier was causing some sort of issue, so I redid the barrier multiple times, and it wasn't working. So what I ended up doing was I had to kind of make a little bit of an extension in here, but this allowed me to put in also a water temperature regulator and the power source. So now we're definitely okay. Um, it is a bit dark in here. I feel like I could put like a window or something on this wall so that there's some sunlight coming in. And then I'm probably going to cover this ground with some sort of tile or something. And this is the little keeper hut here for the animals. And then this is where the birds will come in and go to sleep. I'm not sure really what else I should put in here, but I want to put my birds in here first and then see how they do. Obviously, you can tell I haven't done any sort of landscaping in here other than making the little pond. So I'm gonna let me look at my options here. So the Indian peafowl is, let me look at my, I don't even know. I did get some flamingos because I thought maybe they might be better with the water, but ultimately I decided to go with the peafowls because they had a little bit of a higher prestige. Is this prestige? Is that what that is? I don't know. So that's why I did that, or that's my plan. And then I figure, people get tired of the peafowls. We can replace that with flamingos at some point. So the Indian peafowls, I guess this is grassland and like temperate tropical, and maybe that's grassland environment. Okay, so now I can place down like just some decorations. I really haven't done much, and I'm not really sure as far as like absolutely everything that I want to be, like how I want this habitat to look. But I think I'll just start off with the little pond that we have. And I purposely didn't want the water to be like all the way up. I guess I could make it like all the way up so that it's, I don't know. But anyway, I like how this looks right now. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and put in the education screens, and then we're going to put in our Peafowls. So we'll see how that goes, and then I may come back and add more things to this habitat. But mostly, I really just want to see, like, is this habitat too large for them, um, and things like that, so I can make adjustments if I need to. All right, so we are adding in our peafowls from the trade center, and I believe I have like three females and one male. So they definitely are very small for this ginormous habitat. So my plan is I'm going to make some adjustments in the next episode to this habitat. And what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to be making this habitat walkable, like inside for guests, because the peafowls are able to interact with guests, so guests can walk through. And then I'm also going to possibly put in a cafe or something kind of inside the habit, not like inside the habitat, but it's going to be sort of like the building that we built with our maintenance and keeper station. It's going to be on the edge of the habitat, but it'll help take up some of that space. So that is my plan, and I really hope you guys are able to watch that next episode coming up. But I really appreciate you guys joining me today. I know this is very new for my channel, starting a new game, and it's different. I know, but I'm so excited for you to see the creations that I'm making in Planet Zoo. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.